Good day and welcome to this Tuesday first segment of a week at the plot. Not going to be doing a lot today. I'm going to be harvesting from those brassicas on the right, but really what I wanted to do is try and capture the sunlight coming through that grass in the middle and through those parsnips on the left. And the sun has now come out as per my command. That colour is just stunningly gorgeous, albeit with a bit of flare at the top. But there, a cloud is covering the sun. There we are. And if you look in the top left hand, just to the left of the greenhouse, you'll see some brush. So let's just go over there and have a look at what has happened to the plum tree so far. The remnants of the plum tree. So all of this brush, which are the sort of smaller side branches, and all of that there, that will all be going into one of our dead hedges and just fed in like we saw the other week. And that will be great. You know, this ends up as a habitat. And then I think the plot holder may need some help on this being removed, but we can have a chat about that when I see her later in the week. But one of the other plot holders has processed the whole of the plum tree, as you can see, and it's no longer there, apart from all the brush, or the arisings, as council workers may know that as. So yeah, good job done. That's the thing about this allotment. We've got a whole load of people who do a lot of things outside of our main work parties, which is them doing that outside of work parties is really valuable, just as it is people coming to work parties and getting on with things. You may remember a few months back me saying that I was going to save seed from a plant which I thought was a cross between a Nero di Toscana or a Cavallo Nero and a Portuguese cabbage. Well, the one I was going to save seed from, its stalk broke in the wind. But I've noticed this one here, which, I mean, this is Portuguese cabbage here. You can see the leaf is big. And this is Nero di Toscana. I think you can see that the leaves are much more blade shaped. Where if we come over here, this leaf here, look at that one, is broad rather than blade shaped. So I'm going to take this, or I'm going to cover these back up with this netting, but I'm going to save seed from this one because I think this is another cross, which I'm really pleased about because I really wanted to save seeds from this. Well, from the other one, but as I say, the stalk broke. Right, let me just cover that up. Just coming back to the shed, and I saw this beauty. This is a pulmonaria lungwort. So you'll most probably see the connection between pulmonaria, as in pulmonary, and lungwort, as in lung. And maybe you can see the the spots. What I meant to say is the mottled leaf, the spots on the leaf. So this is really early flowering plant, fabulous for bees at this time of year and other pollinators, even though there may not be many around other than native bees. But we've got a few of these on site, and they really do herald the beginning of spring. I love this plant. I think it's just utterly glorious. Utterly glorious. Oh, but this bed does need a tidy. Maybe this week. That's a rather different view to the last time we looked out of the shed when it was grey and drizzling. Look at that beautiful sky. Absolutely lovely. Oh, and can you see there's a plane going into Heathrow just sort of 3/4 of the way across the screen above the rooftops and the chimney tops. There's a plane going in. That's on the near approach. There's an approach which is a bit further away, which is the approach that goes over Vivi. So it's quite funny to think that when we're at her garden and luxuriating in her gardening skills at her space, that the planes going over her are coming quite near us and then landing at Heathrow. Yes, an absolutely glorious day, and I think I'm going to take a quick walk. Oh, there's swans going over. Oh, they are just so magnificent. We've got 2 breeding pairs on the canal now, and we've got 1 cygnet from last year that's on its own, so hopefully that one will find a partner to breed this year, which is sort of like very soon for their breeding season. And it's just glorious when we see them fly over. And last year I think there were like six cygnets at one point, and we did see all 8 of them flying over. Was that last year or the year before? I don't know. But you know, the wonderful thing about them is even if you don't see them, that wing beat, the noise of their wings beating on the air is just so, you just know it's swans flying over. You know, it's yeah, nothing else sounds the same really. Anyway, there we go. Paul's first segment of the plot going completely off topic as per usual. I have of course checked the seeds, the Portuguese cabbage seeds that we planted or sowed a few days ago, and nothing up there yet, not surprisingly. But the broad beans are doing really well, and I think we'll most probably get them out at the weekend. I think we'll do that. Yes, I think we will. Another thing that I noticed, I think I mentioned this before, this is the bit that closes my doors on the wooden greenhouse, and the screw that goes through here, in the winds a couple of weeks ago, I think it might have even been when we were in Guernsey, this blew off, and the screw that or the bolt rather, that goes in and holds this onto the frame so that I can close those doors properly, that is completely lost. I've been on my hands and knees here tapping the ground with gloved hands and have found absolutely nothing. So I think in the wind it may have sprung off. I mean, it was quite a heavy, I mean not heavy bolt, but it wasn't a light bolt. But certainly the wind forces that we had a couple of weeks ago, they weren't as strong as the ones that we had in the past 7 days, but still they were strong enough to throw a bolt across the plot somewhere. But at least I've got the wooden bit, which is good. I'm taking this home now to see if I can find a bolt in our bits and pieces tin, which of course is under the bed. That's where we keep all of our tools, under the bed. Right, I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you again very soon for another segment of A Week at the Plot. It may be tomorrow, depending upon the weather and depending upon the work I need to do at my desk. It may be tomorrow, because I would like to spend a few hours here just beginning to get on top of things, rather than things beginning to get on top of me. So yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to sort out the flowerboard bed in front of the shed here and a few other things. But I've got time. I'm not getting uptight about it. I've got time. And actually, I think if we have a couple of days of dry weather in this coming week, I'll be doing my first strim of the year, though being very careful, because as I was looking at that brassica earlier, a frog jumped out from in front of my foot. So I need to make sure I do put my fingers into whatever I'm going to strim to make sure it's all clear and lovely and doesn't have any wildlife in it, or any wildlife that is going to be endangered by a strimmer at least. Right, waffling, I'm going to go. See you soon. Bye. Good day. We have a bulk order of compost coming today. So we've blocked this area off here so that it can come in our gate. There's my big shadow. And also our gate, the left-hand gate, has been realigned yesterday and reconcreted in because it was buckling. So when the compost does arrive, the pallets will be going down this area here, though we need to leave that gate in the middle free because we've also got the scrap metal people coming back today to take away hopefully the rest of the scrap metal, or certainly the rest of it that they want. We'll have a look later when the compost has arrived. So earlier on we had 458 bags, I think it was, and this is what's left, and this is all being bagged up for individual plot holders, or not bagged up but marked up for individual plot holders here who will collect later or tomorrow. All the others have been taken to the respective plots by the tenants, which is really great. Had a huge amount of help today getting all of this done and out. Equigrow delivered exactly what we asked for. The delivery guy was just fantastic. Really great. So I'm just pleased that we've had another peat-free organic compost delivery, and I can take much of the plastic to a specialist recycling place down near For Earth's Sake, which is really great, and the bags of compost can actually just be recycled. So there we are. I'll put a photo in here of the lineup of the pallets that we had originally, but they're all zigzag so you won't really see them all. But a really good day and a great day's work done. Really happy. Yeah. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Good day. Well, I've given this bed another hand weeding, good hand weeding, and I've put down 2 layers of thick cardboard. And the bags that you can see on the right, that's fertile mulch that we got yesterday, and I've got a couple of bags elsewhere, and I'm going to start putting these down now. It won't be a thick layer on here this year, but it will be enough to nourish the soil. And also I'm going to add chicken manure pellets once I have put the mulch on top. So let me just get on with that and then I can show you the bed again. That is 2 thick layers of cardboard, 160 litres of the fertile mulch that we got yesterday, and also a 50 litre bag of compost that was left over that I hadn't used previously. So that will do for this year. I mean, it You know, this is one of those Instagram jobs. It looks instantly better, but that's because it's got virgin mulch and compost on top of cardboard and on top of the bed. Yeah, pleased to have got that done. So that is that job done. The weeding took me maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. The cardboard laying took me longer than normal because I noticed that some of that cardboard still had its plastic tape on it. And I remember coming down here one wet day, and instead of taking the tape off then, which would have been much easier, I just put the cardboard into the shed and said, right, I'll do that on my next visit. I'll take the tape off on my next visit. Did I? No, I didn't. So it took me longer than normal, but that most probably took me about 20 minutes to lay the cardboard. Most of it has got 2 overlapping layers. Where some layers overlap, there may be 3 layers. And then on top went 4 bags of 40 litres of mulch and a 50-litre bag of compost. No, vegetable compost actually. It's vegetable compost that I bought. I think can't remember the brand, Westland. Their New Horizon, I think it was. Their vegetable compost. That I hadn't used last year, so I've put that on. So that bed's had 210 litres. And if I had put it all into a wheelbarrow and fluffed it up, it says that it would, you'll look at calculators online, compost calculators, and it says that will do about 6 centimetres. I reckon in reality that's about 3 centimetres. So I've got another bag of that vegetable compost, and no, I was going to say I might put that on the fruit bed, but I'm not going to, because in front of me here I've got the parsnips in. I need to take the parsnips out because that is going to be our potato bed, and actually I'd rather have the compost on the potato bed where we're going to be planting the Colleen potatoes in a few weeks time, maybe 3 weeks time. I'd rather have that compost on that bed, nourishing that bed, than on the fruit bed. For no other reason than I don't have money to buy further compost than we bought yesterday for the rest of the year. So yeah, you know, when you think these things out, you start, oh, shall I do this? Shall I do that? No, the sensible thing is I put a decent amount down on that soft fruit bed today. I'm going to top it off in a moment with chicken manure pellets. We're due more rain over the coming days, I think Monday. So those chicken manure pellets, I might even water them actually tomorrow. Yeah, I think I'll do that to start breaking them down. And then when we get rain, then those chicken manure pellets can go into the mulch that I've put on, and that mulch can go and wet the cardboard. When the cardboard is wet, it'll sit neater on the ground, and I'll just go around and tap it down with a rake at that point. And then the other bag, 2 bags in fact, of vegetable compost that I've got, they will go onto the bed in front of me, in front of the shed here. So yeah, that's it for my job for today. I'm exhausted because yesterday was a really long day, and also because we were taking compost to people's plots, it was a long day and an exhausting day as well. I think most probably took about maybe 60, 80 litres of, no, not litres, bags of 40 litres of compost. No, maybe not that many, 50 to 60 bags of 40 litres of compost to various people's plots. And that was because those people are either away or they, it was fair to give them some assistance because they might be sort of older plot holders. So, or they do an awful lot for the site, and I knew they couldn't come down, and I thought, well, they do so much for the site, we as a team will take the bags to their plots so that they're A, out of our way and all counted out, and B, that the people who do an awful lot on work party days and other days, they have a benefit from not having to take it to their plot. So that's what we did. So it was long, it was exhausting, but it was really, really good. And I must say, when I woke up this morning, I just felt quite chuffed. Also, I bought some more jeans on eBay, and one pair that I bought, the pair that I'm wearing at the moment, they're sort of elasticated. I've never had fabric, you know, that's elasticated in trousers before. Bit bizarre. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you that. It's pointless really, but there we are. I suppose it's my vlog, so I can tell you what I want. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go before I start waffling about trousers and scarves and things like that. And I will most probably see you down here tomorrow. Yeah, most probably see you down here tomorrow. If not, I'll most probably be doing some seed sowing at home. See you then. Bye. Good day. I did what I said I was going to do yesterday, and I put down chicken manure pellets, and then I have watered the bed with the watering can and 4 lots of water in the watering can, and that's mainly to start dissolving the chicken manure pellets, but more so actually to ensure that the cardboard underneath gets nice and wet. Looking at the weather forecast, I thought we were going to have rain today and tomorrow, but it says it's not going to rain till Tuesday. So I'll give this a couple more cans of water a bit later on as well. But I've been thinking about this blackberry because this frame is completely defunct really. The wood can be used for something else, but the frame isn't going to work. So what I think I'm going to do is put in a vertical post behind this blackberry, and instead of training it up what was this trellis, I'm going to put wires across between this post here and another post that you can't quite see here behind the grow house, and train it vertically. Yeah, so it'll be quite low, but the good thing about it being low is it won't break up the view of the plot, which I think is actually quite good. I think I quite like the arbor, because I assume it's an arbor, not being there now. I can see it's not going to be there, if you see what I mean. It's not an issue for me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today, for this week's A Week at the Plot. You might be able to hear that there's a kids party going on at the pub just across the way before the pub opens, I hope. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. And I'm going to get on with a few other things today, but I think I'll just pick up on those in next week's A Week at the Plot. See you very soon. Bye.